This is a JTP audio podcast.
On today's episode, we tell some great RPG horror stories. We'll discuss how to handle dump stats, why one player shouldn't be the best, and one of many reasons why you probably shouldn't be a Nazi. All this and how to get yourself some free curmudgeon swag on today's Curmudgeons and Dragons. Sometimes talking with friends feels like role-playing. Sometimes it feels like combat. Join us at the round table and roll initiative. This is Curmudgeons and Dragons. All right, hello, hey, and welcome. We are back with another Curmudgeons and Dragons. Took a little time off there. Some of us put ourselves in the hospital. That was me. That was my fault. I'm sorry about that.
Summer vacation.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
we took a little nap time.
Yeah, with like tubes in me.
Yeah.
But I'm fine.
We did
Thanks
that.
for asking.
We all did it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't COVID because I already had that.
Yeah.
But we are IRL. Everyone's looking at each other's pretty faces today.
Yeah.
I got Jack O'Connell with me.
That's me.
How you doing, bud?
I'm just living the dream. Every day is just a gift. It's great.
I can smell the sarcasm.
It's all serious. It's great. I'm definitely not growing gray hairs and busier than I need to be and missing the podcast. That's really good. It's good. I'm having a good time.
Right. So super glad that I dragged you back into this show.
Yeah. Just drag me kicking and screaming. It's fine.
Josey Diaz.
I'm trying to think of things to say about how I'm doing that aren't I'm not dead, but I can't think of anything. So I'm not dead yet.
There you go.
I've made it.
All
I've
right.
made it one more day.
Gross.
I feel like every episode we record, so one of us tries to die.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying really hard.
Yeah. Jack, we almost lost Jack a while ago.
Yep.
I tried pretty hard this month.
Currently, my lungs are fighting against me.
Yeah. I'm going to have to edit out a lot of your hacking up and disgusting just
Nobody wants to hear me.
lung garbage. And unfortunately, Justin Franco is not with us. He keeps getting himself promoted at his new job.
He's just too good at what he does.
He's just a goddamn angel.
Just so good.
He's like, yeah, now I have to go train all of these other people to show them how to do their jobs.
From zero to hero.
Like in January, I pitched
Just
him.
like that.
I pitched him the show, and he's like, "Yeah, I've got all the time in the world." And then within like 2 months, he's like, "I'm the manager of 4 bars now."
I did not know what that's like.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No.
Can't
But
relate.
yeah, unfortunately, scheduling's not going to work out for him for a while. We'd love to have him back if he ever has time for us again. But we are going to trek ahead as a party of 3.
Justin will
Musketeers.
drag you back kicking and fucking screaming, I swear to God.
Yeah. The 3
and he was our DPS character too. What are we supposed to do with that?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I don't know. As long as we got the cleric, we're fine.
I'm not playing the cleric. You can't make me.
Fuck.
I don't heal stuff.
Fuck.
I don't care about people enough to heal people.
I
Well-
just fuck stuff.
Well, we're dead.
Finally.
So we kind of skipped a couple of weeks there, but we're going to just go back to the top of the month. First week of the month, we are doing RPG horror stories.
Right back into it.
We got
Like
some.
we never left.
We got some fun ones, man.
Yeah.
And some not fun ones.
Yeah, mine's not great.
I saw yours, Jack, and that's a scary one.
It's not great.
I haven't actually even read mine yet. I was just like, this looks good.
Well, it's fine. It's probably 40 paragraphs long as per usual.
Yeah.
Listen,
I love
Do you
being
only
the
search?
narrator.
Do you only search the Reddit taglines where they say long or extra long?
I actually don't know how to search the
part
tags.
X of Y.
Part X.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
40
No, oh
minute.
my God. If it's a part something of something, I won't do it.
Yeah, but those stories are brilliant, though.
They really are, but like,
We should do like one episode where we have like one super long story, and we'll just take it chapter by chapter.
oh my God,
God.
that might actually be really fun.
Right?
We could always do Hitler and Jesus or romance.
That's a good one.
Oh my God.
Story time. We are in initiative. Everybody roll.
Doing it.
16.
18.
18.
18 is a roll off, Jack. 12.
16.
Jack is up first.
Well,
Number
Jack's a
1.
loser that uses his digital dice when we're all together, and he was offered a big, shaky bag
I've
of
got
dice.
a bag of.
Yeah, I don't want those dirty dice. I know where they've been.
I've never rolled half of these.
I don't want to ruin my mojo, dude. I don't want
They
to
couldn't
roll up.
possibly be dirtier than you,
I
Jack.
literally-
That's fair. That's probably. a
I was
good point.
ordering dice, and they gave me like a choice of 15 colors to pick from. And I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to pick
Just said yes.
one of these. And then they sent me all 15.
That's a lot.
There's like
They
there's
went,
this
fuck
many
it.
dice in there.
They said, fuck it, give them all of them.
All the dice. All right, I guess I'm going first, right?
Story time, Jack.
That's how that works. All right. So I picked one off of the old RPG horror stories, and it's, what do you mean I'm dead? I role played with an edgelord. I mean, I feel like I also pick a lot of edgelord stories. I don't mean to, but
There's
like
plenty to go about.
there's a lot of them
There's
out there.
so many. I
Too
feel like
doggy.
D&D really attracts the
We're crawling
edgelords.
with them.
Crawling with them.
Place it lousy with
Gotta beat
Wow.
'em.
With edgelords that don't know how to be cool but want to play a suave vampire.
Yep. Gotta beat them off with a stick.
place it lousy with edgelords.
Gotta
Ugh.
beat off edgelords. All right. So I role played an edgelord who demanded I let him play a Nazi soldier, and if I didn't, I was an SJW baby snowflake. Solid start. I told him to please not bring it up very often, as World War II isn't even part of the setting. I regret not kicking him earlier. Yeah, right. I regret
Like World
not,
War
no,
II didn't
it's,
happen.
it's getting better. I regret not kicking him earlier. I just really wanted to play and thought at worst the edgelord would be annoying and occasionally laughable. He then, every chance he got, told everyone about his OP build and how Germany won. He's from the future. So I had an NPC reference Germany having basically a 0% chance of winning. He then went on a murder hobo quest until his character actually died. He then screamed and cried about having an asshole who wouldn't let him play his character because I was too sensitive. We have since blocked each other on all social media.
Jesus
So
Christ.
that's a fun little story about it's not a DM's fault. I feel like it's always a DM's fault. I want to blame you guys for stuff once in a while. So
We got a good 50-50 mix of
yeah,
players' fault.
moral of
and
the
TM's
story
fault.
is don't play a Nazi if it's not World War II.
Moral of the story is just don't play a Nazi.
So-
It's so easy to not be a fascist.
Whether you're role playing or you're IRL, just don't be a Nazi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I feel
a
like-
fair.
I feel like that's the more you know.
Like, I'm
moment
sorry,
of this
but if
show.
you want to role play being a person whose ideology is that all Browns, gays, Romani, whatever, need to be killed so that we can ethnically cleanse, like, you're in a fantasy setting. Like, you think the worst thing you have to deal with is human beings who are a little bit more brown than you?
Yeah, it was a
Or
rough
like
one.
a little Jewish? Do you not have any idea how many religions there are in this world?
That's
Like,
a lot. Praise to you, Matt.
I always love how like the Nazi guys, whether it's IRL or in games, like the second they get called out for like a second, they cry and call everyone else sensitive.
Yeah, that's usually not how that's supposed to work.
Oh my
it's
god!
beautiful.
Well, so I saw that story and it kind of brought up a thing because I've DM'd before, a bunch, and I've had people like just randomly, like just totally out of setting characters, things like that. Like we'll play in a fantasy center, like I have a gun. I'm like, nah, you don't. There's no guns right here. Like, no, I have a gun. It's like you definitely don't. You don't have a gun. They're like, well, I'm not playing if I don't have a gun. I'm like, well, then I guess
Bye.
you got a gun
Yeah.
because I don't feel like dealing with like finding another person in this like store right now. But I always feel like you get that a lot in campaigns that are like we've talked about before, the tabletop store, the RPG store kind of campaigns.
where you're just like
Yeah.
picking a bunch of randos and
Mhm.
hoping for the best.
So that was just I want to be a Nazi, I guess, was that what that guy thought. He woke up that morning and wanted to be a Nazi. So that's fun. That's good.
See, when I wake up and choose violence, it's against the guy at Comcast. It's not against
Yeah,
minorities.
that's fair. The thing that really did get me though was when he was like, it's not even a World War II setting. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's like there shouldn't like
In your defense, the Comcast people are actually subhuman,
Yeah. They're
like,
terrestrial
and
beings.
that's not like a hot take,
I
like
actually had
controversial racist opinion. This is hard proven fact.
Yeah, hot take. No one likes Comcast.
It's just give me my
So
fucking
let's-
internet.
Let's. I hate the term devil's advocate because it's so horrible now. But like, let's just take a step back for a second. Let's say you're like an actual real piece of human shit,
Mhm.
and you absolutely have to play a Nazi in D&D.
Mhm.
Role play.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to hate IRL Jewish people. You can hate dwarves.
Mhm.
You can hate Tolkien's Jewish people.
But like then you're not but then you're not a Nazi. Like just call yourself a fascist. It's fine. It's fine.
I think fascism exists no matter what realm you're
Yeah,
from.
because
There's
Nazi
absolutely fascism in the Feywild.
Oh,
I tell
100%.
you what.
Nazism is a specific ideology.
Mhm.
Like it's a very specific one that led to World War II. But fascism is an umbrella term.
Mhm.
It can be applied to so many situations and
Yeah.
isn't specific against a specific group of people that don't exist in the Forgotten Realms.
I tell you what, hot take. Just I don't know. Don't be a Nazi.
It's,
Hot take. Nazis are bad.
it's
I
so
feel
easy
like-
to not be a
I
Nazi.
feel like it's
Yeah.
so much easier to not be a Nazi than it is to be a Nazi.
That seems like a lot of work.
Imagine being that angry that
Those
people are
uniforms look
resisting
heavy.
all the
Yeah, they
time.
do.
They don't breathe very well.
Yeah, but they
Nah,
were
it's really
designed by
thick cotton.
Hugo Boss, which every time I walk past a Hugo Boss store when I was walking around England, I'd be like, that man made shit for the Nazis. Why are you buying his things?
It's like
Didn't-
it's like
didn't know that.
Mercedes. It's like Mercedes.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
Mercedes.
Hitler drove around like that 6-wheel
Oh, the
Mercedes.
the Volkswagen.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, hot take. Don't be a Nazi. They
Yeah.
fucking suck. Who's next?
I'm next.
I think it's you.
I'm always last, even if
Yeah.
I don't get a one.
That's actually true.
That's
yeah.
fair. Yeah.
Since we saved the best for
Josey
last.
finally rolls a 16 and she's last.
Yeah, it's because we got to get our stories out, then we can take a quick nap while you're telling your 40-minute story.
Settle in, children.
Yeah, just wake up and end the podcast.
Josey, where'd you get a tree stump from?
Oh,
Yeah.
I just find them in the dump.
Mhm.
This is a story called I Made the Mistake of Making a Low Intelligence Character. So I heard a friend of mine was going to start a D&D campaign, and I asked him if I could join. He told me I could. Me and 4 other people were playing, including the DM, who gave us a standard ability scores with the lowest score for ability being 8 and told us to make a character. I made a barbarian and decided to have intelligence as a dump stat. This turned out to be a problem because this somehow became my only character's trait as a big dumb brute. If I ever said something that was remotely smart, I took 2 HP of psychic damage. This was annoying, but everyone else laughed, so I didn't say much. But this kept going on, and if I ever suggested a nice idea, the DM at 2 times even said that the wizard came up with the idea that I suggested. The rest of the 3 characters' dump stat didn't even matter. The monk could do plenty of push-ups despite her having a strength of 8. The wizard's low charisma nor the bard's low wisdom ever mattered in the entire story. When I said that push-ups should need to be an athletic check for the monk, it was dismissed, as the monk had been training her entire life. The point being, I felt I was being targeted every session. In the 4th session, there was a puzzle with a riddle and 4 doors. I thought it was obvious that the silver door was the right choice, but the wizard said the bronze door was the right one. I told him the silver is the right one, and the DM became annoyed. My character took 2 points of psychic damage for thinking too hard. I told the DM why did he even make a puzzle if one of the players shouldn't even help during it. Our argument became loud, and I left the game. So,
The idea of having to take 2 damage every time you have a thought,
just for thinking too hard, that's bad enough. But
that's shitty.
I can see if it was like backstory related, like, the reason you're dumb is because there's like a curse or there's like manipulation going on. But if you're just being a DM, it's like, I don't know, you're going to be stupid. And you're not allowed to be doing anything but be stupid. Here's
And,
2
like,
points psychic damage.
right.
It's one thing if that applies to everybody, but if it's just because you picked intelligence and they're like, oh, well, you're too stupid to know things, like, not for nothing, but like, you can have a low intelligence and a high wisdom and still come off as the smartest person in the
Sure.
party.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they brought up that other players were not being punished for their dump stat. Like, I like when characters have flaws. It's like this is a storytelling game.
Mm-hmm.
Flawless characters are not interesting stories.
Yeah.
So like a monk that can literally run across water and run up walls but can't do 5 push-ups.
It's fun.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Hilarious. They're like, no, I'm very dexterous, but I got little noodle arms.
Monks don't need strength.
Yeah, they need that dex, dude.
Jack, you're the DM here. How have you dealt with characters with their dump stats?
Like, I feel like no matter what, like 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a dump stat. Like, you're just never going to get those perfect rolls. And if you do, it almost makes it not fun because then you play that kind of like flawless character. And it's almost more fun to have something wrong.
We'll jump real quick. Do you typically do rolled stats for your games?
So I do, the way that I do rolls for most games, like when we played, was you get 4 dice. You roll 4 dice 7 times, and you'll pick the highest 3 numbers, and then you also get to drop one of your rolls.
So you get a drop die and a drop stat.
Yeah, so it gives you more like kind of like flexibility with stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone ends up with a dump stat, and generally, I think more often than not, you don't pick the fun thing to dump a stat until you pick the what does my character not need the most. You don't think about like from a storytelling standpoint, what would be a fun dump stat, like that guy dumping an intelligence, and the little like psychic damage once in a while would be fun, but not like I wouldn't do it all the time. Because I even played
Especially if it's like the puzzle where it's like, hey, like I think it's actually the silver tour. Like you shouldn't get 2 psychic damage for something that like
for solving a puzzle.
Yeah,
for solving a puzzle, but like for what amounts to for that character is a guess.
Yeah. I played a barbarian once that I actually rolled really well. My dump stat wasn't my intelligence. So I actually had decent intelligence. I was like the second highest in the party.
Yeah.
But I would play it off like I was this big, dumb Goliath barbarian, like like that.
I love that.
And then we had one time where we were like, looking
Everyone
for.
I know has a Goliath barbarian.
Yeah. But then we were like reading like a book for a puzzle and stuff, and I just ended up like solving it. And they were like, oh, and then like that's how they found out I was like actually pretty smart. But I mean, dump stats are tough, man. I mean, I think that you should play to your flaws, and I think as a DM, playing to that flaw that much and not playing to other people's flaws is, I hate to say it, another bad DM. But I don't know, man. I mean, everyone's gonna have a dump stat. You're not gonna, and if you roll your own character, that's why usually I always make people roll in person.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I play with new people a lot, they'll get that dump stat and not want it, like not think like, oh, I can actually have a dump stat, or oh, I can have something fun for my character that he's not good at.
Right.
So they'll just make up rolls, and they'll just be like, oh no, my lowest roll was a 16. I'm like, come on, dude. Like it's not.
I tend to prefer either standard array or point buy.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really like standard array because it kind of forces you to have that one low stat, and then there's ways to play on that.
My DM actually does something really fun, which, hello, Gregory. where
Oof,
like
hated
he'll
that.
have you.
I hope that's his real name too.
Uh,
That is his real name.
like it's not like it's
no,
not
it's
Gregory.
Gregory.
No, it's
Okay, cool.
yeah.
It's Greg. His name is Gregory, and he is my best friend's boyfriend, but that's not the point. He'll, like, if we want to roll our stats, like, we roll it wherever we are, and then he also rolls. So you tell him what your number is, and he won't tell you what his number is, but he'll say, like, okay, well, do you want to take the stat that you rolled, or do you want to take a chance with what I rolled?
What's behind door number 1?
Exactly. Deal or no deal,
Yeah.
but with rolling up your
I like
stats.
that. I can get into that.
No deal.
It's really fun because, like, sometimes you'll be like, okay, like a 12 or a 13, like, I think I'll take your stat. And he's like, oh, you
Here's your
should have done
7,
that.
8.
It's a 4.
Yeah.
Okay, my story is player takes the role of almost all the party. This takes place in my longest ongoing D&D campaign that I've been in. For a year, it's been a party of 6 people, and it's the most fun D&D game I've ever had. Our party consists of me, a high elf wizard, the half-orc paladin, the drow rogue, the wood elf ranger, the halfling barbarian, and the turtle druid. Just want to stop and say that I love a turtle. A couple of sessions ago, we got a new player, a Yuan T artificer. Awesome. He's smart and innovative, is what I thought. He came in when we located a nest of illithids. Is that a thing? Illithids who crashed landed near a city from outer space. We plan our attack for a while and purchase items we believe would help us in our coming attack. Not only that, we have some Gith helping us as well. As we make our plan of attack and the artificer go to a library and do our research on any known weaknesses or facts that can help us win the fight. But when I try to ask the DM something, he would interrupt. I forgot the questions we asked. I'm very sorry. And continue on with this. Not a major problem with me. Annoying, yes, but I can't be in the spotlight, and I'm all right with that. Moving on from that, we also found out that he made some items before we met. Turns out he's an armorer with some very useful magic items. But when doing the calculations, it turns out he has a total of a 26 AC. Wow, okay, he has more armor than the paladin, who has a 23 AC. Paladin seems alright with this, as he still makes for some amazing RP, and we can still do serious damage to the enemies. He also has an all-purpose tool. I forgot the specifics, but now he has expertise in a lot of skills that the rogue has. Along the story, and after the defeat of my story, my character eventually becomes silent. But I'm the only one who can contact our ride out of here, which I was very thankful for having. That is until he made a super sending stone, which can contact other sending stones instead of the pair needed. Now he contacts the ride and does all the intelligence-based stuff I do now, but better. My only advantage is that, as the wizard, I have the entire spell list in my book. Mechanically speaking, he has better magic items as an artificer should, making him a stronger spellcaster. But he also has better armor than everyone else, making him stronger and faster than the paladin and the rogue. And likes talking about how much better his stuff is, wouldn't really compare to my stuff, or something along the lines of that. Roleplay is worse with him. He is just as smart as my PC, but he keeps talking over me. I hate to say this, but I go on my phone now because everything I do, he can do better. My wizard get called on every time, and the party needs a certain spell for a plan during combat because I'm essentially useless otherwise. And the game for me eventually became boring. I feel more like a viewer on a stream than anything. Which sucks.
Yeah,
Like,
that's no fun.
I don't like a person, like we were talking about before we started recording, like the perfect player character.
Yeah.
Like, that's not fun
That's a character without flaws.
for anybody.
And how boring did that sound?
No one enjoys that.
That's like, especially if you're
I'm sure the
taking
artificer enjoyed
away,
it.
Yeah.
if you're taking away opportunities for other people to participate in the session.
Well, people who play characters like that don't have a lot going on in real life, so then it's the same thing as like, I'm going to play a Nazi because my real life's not good. So I'm gonna
I just want to know. I want to see the character sheet to see how he had a 26 AC.
If he's armorer artificer, that's basically Iron Man.
You get like, I think you get like a +4 or a +5. Plus, if you're doing any plate, you could wear plate as an artificer.
Depending on the level, he could be crafting.
Oh, but like, I do actually like the first comment on here. That's like, from the way you've described it, this isn't even a legal character.
Mm-hmm.
Artificers get expertise in checks that use tools, sure, but everything the rogue does, I don't buy it. And as for the AC, I'm pretty sure the highest is 26 at 14th level. Plate armor +2, shield +2, ring of protection, cloak of protection.
Yeah.
But those 2 require attunement. So, and the super sending stone, well, that's just your GM because no such thing exists like that in the book. There may be other stuff, or maybe you didn't explain the character well enough, but that's my takeaway. And I actually really agree with that.
Weird that people lie on the internet.
I never would have thought. There's only truth on the internet.
So let's assume the story's true, because that's a whole other can of worms that we're not going to hit on this podcast.
Well, if the story is true, then this guy is just, bar none, this guy's just an asshole. You're going to go.
What's probably happening is he's probably the DM's best friend.
Yeah, and the DM's like, do whatever you want. Or you get the other side, which I've seen in DMing a lot, where it's like,
I hate this guy. Just let him do what he wants so he shuts up.
Well, there's that. There's my best friend, do whatever you want. And then there's also he's a friend that's never played before, and you want to have such a good time that you make it way overpowered. It's like in video games when you carry your friend through levels. It's basically all you're doing is being hey, come play with us and have a great time, but basically you'll have to do nothing or be the best.
Right.
Yeah,
that could be it too.
Mm-hmm. So you see that a lot in games where it's
or it's a manipulative player that's saying oh, I just made this super sending stone. The DM's sure, do it.
That sounds helpful. Yeah, why not? But then it takes away from the other people. If your character, you can have a cool character. That's not a problem.
I hope everyone has a cool character.
Yeah, I hope everybody's character is something that they like. But
losers only.
If you, as the player, take away opportunities for other people to have fun with the game, then you're just an asshole.
ASSHOLE.
Or for a DM
my God, look, I picked one that's not really the DM.
It's kind of still. See, this is the worst part. I know. It's still.
I'm trying to be nice.
It's like the boss fallacy, where it's if an employee screws up, it's kind of on the boss for either not training him right or for picking him in the first place for hiring him.
I mean, no matter what, at the end of the day, I can say, well, the DM is God, and God makes the final decision, so it's his fault.
Right. So especially since this is probably not a legal build, the DM allowed it. And here's the thing: even if the DM allowed it, and we got to this point, I'm still not mad at it until we get to the point where it's unbalanced.
Yeah, if you want to be really good at one aspect, that's one thing. But when you're saying the more I listen to it, the more I'm
he's taking on the roles of the paladin, the rogue,
no.
But
the wizard.
The DM could be giving magic items and stuff to the other players to balance this out a little bit. You can't have one Superman and 5 assholes.
Yeah, that's just the Justice League.
But you can have
Wonder Woman can fuck up Superman.
But you can have 6 Supermen.
Yeah,
and actually have a pretty cool campaign because now you're so powerful you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And
it's One Punch Man. It's I just want something that I don't kill in one hit.
Murder immediately.
Right. If you ever see a level 21 shot, they can be kind of intimidating because you have so many options. And the wizard just stops time and blows things up and teleports away, and it gets nuts.
It's wild.
Which is why you want to that kind of level 8 to 12 sweet spot.
It's nice because you're not doing too much stuff. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I give this is 70-30. I mean, it's definitely 70% the player's fault. Just because you had if you ever played D&D before, you have to sit down and look at this and be this isn't going to be fun for anybody.
Sure.
This player had to look at their character sheet and be some of this stuff seems a little iffy, but I want to keep it in there.
And it's 30% the DM's fault because if I ever saw that character sheet come across my table, I'd be you're not going to do this.
Get this off my desk.
Are you kidding me? You get this off my desk right now.
Be okay, yeah, you want to do this? We're going to put you in a big boss fight on your own and see if you do that on your own. You could do that on your own. You need to lower your stats.
But then they do it, and you never hear the end of it.
No, if you can defeat a high level boss on your own, you need to get knocked down.
I mean, if this guy was I'm coming with other people, and the only reason I'm playing is because I want to be overpowered, I'm just gonna incur penalties, or I'm gonna be the vindictive DM, and I'm just gonna target you with everybody, and something eventually. Well,
because
put you
down. you can definitely within the role play aspect be we can see that this is the most versatile person. They're the backbone. We got to take, I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption online. It's you find the person that's in charge and you fuck them up and then everything falls apart.
So I think the absolute worst part of this whole thing is the player was not handling it gracefully.
No.
If you find yourself, if you build your character and you make smart decisions in your growth tree and you maybe you min-max a little bit and you start you build this thing that's clearly more powerful than everything else at the table, but then you just use that as an excuse to take over the game and not use your powers for the rest of the party. That's I think the DM went wrong by allowing it, and that the player probably cheated and then was an asshole about it.
Yeah,
a lot of problems here.
Yeah, essentially.
But this gets prevented by just not allowing it. I love doing these stories, man. I'm glad we got this thing back. I missed you guys.
I missed you just so much.
We're having a great time.
Yeah.
Just a wonderful time.
We're gonna record a few more episodes while we're sitting here. So when you hear us again next week, we did this 5 minutes from now.
Yeah,
And
time
if
travel.
we sound a little slurred, it's because we're enjoying ourselves.
Yes.
Oh, that's episode 1. We're gonna be nice and sober. We got 3 more episodes to do.
I don't know, man.
And
I
Jack
haven't had.
Jack brought a lot of beer.
All I've had today is a couple grapes and 16 ounces of Grog's Paradise,
Grog's
Nutrition.
Paradise.
which is the cutest can I've ever seen for a beer.
Damn right.
Today's beverages are brought to you by Dr. Brewlittle's Brewery, located in Maple Shade, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Hit them up. They got some good shit there.
Yeah.
Me, as a non-beer drinker, actually kind of likes their stuff.
We got that good.
We do got that good.
So walk in there and go say hello to Jack,
That's me.
and probably say hello to me too, because I'm there all the time.
That's you.
I
But
appear
yeah,
every once in a while.
go find
That's
us at curmudgeonsanddragons.com. You get links to all of our socials,
Do it.
which is really just Instagram. But shoot us an email. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and see if we want to make a show that you want to listen to. If you are on a D&D podcast, really any of them, get in touch with us. We really, really want to do a collaborative episode share. So reach out to us if that's something that
Anthony
sounds cool to
Birch, if you're listening to
you.
this,
Super bonus points if you're on that. pod,
please,
or,
for the love of God, I want to hang out with the Dungeons and Daddies people. They're the coolest I've ever met.
or the band Lindby from Bombarded.
Yeah.
If
Oh my
you guys,
God,
if you guys
yes.
want to hang out with us,
All the cool
I
kids,
absolutely love what you guys
hit us up.
Yeah. Just please talk to me. I'm really lonely.
Also, Lindby, if you want to come to New Jersey and like do a campaign with us, and I'll get you gigs.
Yeah. And I'll be there.
Jack will bring you a beer.
Yeah, I'll do that. I can do that. Yeah.
I will be the moral support.
Yeah, that's about right.
I'm going to tag them in the post too.
Nice.
Good shit. Good stuff.
I love everything they do. They're funny.
Come love us.
What we need from you guys that doesn't cost you a damn thing, we need reviews on this podcast. Reviews help us get noticed by people who are just browsing Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts.
Notice me, senpai.
So we've got a couple of these acrylic pins with the curmudgeon grumpy dragon logo on it, drawn up by my friend Matt Dunn. So if you leave us a 5-star review, screenshot it, and send us an email at curmudgeonsanddragonspod@gmail.com, and I will do whatever I have to do to get one of these pins into your hand.
Yeah. We'll do it.
Cool.
I'll hand deliver it if you're in the area. If you're in New Jersey, I will drive to your house in my scantily clad attire.
I will also drive to your house in Josey's scantily clad attire.
Yeah, so we'll both
And
be
we'll hang out.
wearing crop tops and short shorts,
And we'll-
handing out pins.
We'll stay too long. We'll eat your food. It's it'll be a good time.
All for a pin.
Don't call me out like that.
Thank you so much for listening. Jack O'Connell,
That's me.
Josey Diaz.
Yeehaw.
My name is Jason Portizo. This has been a lot of fun. We will see you guys next time.
We love you.
Take it easy, guys.
Thank you for listening to Curmudgeons and Dragons. Our hosts are Jason Portizo, Justin Franco, Jack O'Connell, and Josey Diaz. Produced and edited by Jason Portizo. Theme music is Crunk Night by Kevin MacLeod. Link to the song and license information can be found in the podcast show notes and YouTube description. If you like what you heard, please subscribe and leave a rating. Curmudgeons and Dragons is a JTP audio production. Practice safe adventuring, and remember, don't trust the bard with a twinkle in his eye.
This has been a JTP Audio podcast. Thanks for listening.